Hello and welcome to episode 97 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine hot evening, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
I'm going to take this moment at the intro to give a lot of people some advice for iced coffee.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's not like complicated herbs. It's just what I've learned. The secret to iced coffee is lots of ice. Like, just fill the whole thing full. Like
ice on ice on ice.
Okay? And then you have to use heavy whipping cream. Just a little, not half and half, not milk unless you want inferior. But if you get heavy whipping cream, and just a splash, just a splash, blink, a nice, a hefty splash, but a splash. And then you pour your coffee in after that. And then if there's any way that you can put that in something that you can shake to stir it, because shake to stir it is way better. James Bond knows what he's talking about.
I've got a method for iced coffee as well. It's somewhat similar, but a little different. So, of course, you're going to fill that cup up ice all the way practically to the top, Then I put, I'd say 4/5 coffee in there. Maybe 3/4 coffee, and then you get the International French Vanilla Creamer, International Delight. Then you hit the rest of it with that. So good.
Yeah,
but I'm a creamer man with my coffee, so even my regular coffee, I need that. I need that International Delight.
You mean the sweet? You like sweet stuff?
Yeah. I don't want that bitter Starbucks crap.
Well. Bite my tongue. Okay, well, maybe we should move on into the show. Hey!
Woo, we're here again. 97th time in a row.
97, dude. 97. We're like close to 100, and we haven't even thought about what we're going to do for our 100th show.
And you know what's the word? All right, so we record these on Tuesdays, right? So the next so 98 would be the end of the month. 99. So the 100th would be on schedule to record the 14th of August, which just happens to like shack up with the week I'm wrapping up work and then ending up with the move starting that weekend. It's gonna be
like, you mean like it's right like on the second half of your life.
It's like yeah. It's like where can we stick this milestone episode that'll really make Casey?
You know what would be hilarious? You're not on it.
Yeah. Like, special guest host, Danny
Alex
Bivens.
Kulafi, yeah.
The Bibs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, you know what we should do for our 100th episode? We should have every guest that we've ever had on the show at the same time.
Oh, it sounds like a coordinating nightmare.
Oh, yeah. And it sounds like Skype couldn't handle that, that's for sure.
Oh, my, yeah. The roll call would be like 15 minutes long. But,
okay, everyone clap. Dang it, David.
Yeah. Yeah.
David's clap is always like 3 seconds later because he's up in Canada.
Yeah. Those Canadians, you can't trust their Skype.
Swedes and we've had a lot of people on the show, haven't we? It's
and then especially if you count all the developers as well, then it really gets a little crazy. But yeah. Right. So before we get into what we've been playing, how are you doing, Perry? How are you?
Me? I'm doing great. I'm doing very good. I've been working on stuff. Been doing a bunch of stuff for the website and NintendoWorldReport.com. Been playing a bunch of I've been playing a lot more video games.
Well, that's good.
I've had some
you were slacking
time
for a little bit there. You're letting real life get in the way of things. In the way of the important things, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. I've made some changes in my work schedule, so it's nice. And they haven't even really come into fruition yet, but I'm already getting prepared by playing more video games.
You know what it is? It's just knowing it's on the horizon. It's like it just gives you that extra little boost that might not have been there otherwise.
That's right. So, yeah, exactly. So, but yes. How are you, Casey? How's your eye?
The eye is good. Yeah, so I got that surgery last Thursday. It was terrible. The surgery itself was not bad at all. because the eye was numb, and it was pretty much like he sliced it open real quick. Literally, the doctor was in there for like a minute. He was like, "All right, see ya," and then like
$5,000.
Yeah, thank you. You can direct deposit that into my bank, thanks. Then their aides. Then I sat there for 45 minutes, and every 2 minutes they'd come in and squirt like liquid in my eye, and I was like, oh. It really wasn't that bad. It was that night was miserable. It was a lot of pain, and then after that, it really wasn't too bad. Sensitive to light, so for the first day or two, looking at like a screen, I would just start like crying. Like that whole eye would water up, and I'd be like, oh, this is so annoying. But luckily, the Switch, you could bump that brightness down like super low, and then with some sunglasses, I was able to play some Octopath. But yeah, no, it's better now. I mean, a little blurry, but the doctor said it's healing well. But yeah,
I can't see out of it yet, but
it's pitch black, but that's normal, right?
Yep.
But yeah, and then of course getting ready for the move and stuff. So it's like just a bajillion things going on at once. So it's like, whew, I can't wait till September. Just have it all over with. But yeah, you know what? I still found some time to play some video games. So I can't complain too much.
I think what you're trying to say is it's time to get into some quick bites.
Yes, sir. I've got 2 quick bites. I'm gonna touch on Octopath Traveler first. We talked about it last week. I am continuing. As you would imagine, it's a very long game, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I have now officially gathered all 8 of the travelers in my party.
All right.
And essentially,
you are officially an Octopath Traveler.
Yes, sir. I've hit the octagon. And essentially, how it works is from this point on, they just on the map they show you where each person's chapter 2 is, and it gives you a recommended level. So some of them are like level 24, 25. So it's like those are a little too strong for me. My main character is level 20 right now. And I think the lowest chapter is recommended 21. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of grinding because sort of as you pick up a traveler, one has to come out. So they're all not equal levels. So I'm going to have to I want to formulate my 4 and then sort of level them up and then start chipping away on the old chapter 2s. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying it still.
So, okay, so... You can play multiple chapters. Do you have to? Can you conquer them in any order? Like, can you go on to chapter 2 on one and then stay on, or do you have to go through chapter 2 on all of them?
I think you can just continue on. Like, I could do chapter 2 and then presumably chapter 3 would pop up on the map, and I would be able to go do that. But I think I'm assuming the level requirement for chapter 3 is going to be way higher than 2. So it's sort of like, hey, why don't you go do a bunch of chapter 2s because you'll also level up and then you'll be ready to move on to chapter 3. Sort of, right. I don't know whether it's sort of geared towards like, hey, beat them all and then you'll be ready for chapter 3, or maybe it might be like, hey, I did 5 chapter 2s and you know what, this story is really interesting. I'm going to just push on with chapter 3 there, you know? Right. So
exactly.
Probably by the time we hopefully by the time next week rolls around, I'll be able to sort of comment more on that. But then I've been playing some Fortnite. We played a little bit, but I wanted to touch on Sandy came over, my sister, Saturday, and we did a little duo action where she was on the PC and I was playing on the Switch. So it was cool to have, you know, both screens going on in the same room, and it's sort of a throwback to the old LAN parties of yesteryear, as they say.
Yesteryear.
Isn't that such a terrible saying?
It's terrible.
Old yesteryear.
It's fantastic. Yeah, man.
But yeah, so that was fun.
I've been playing lots of Fortnite too. Actually, this has been kind of the week that I have become a Fortnite fan, to be honest.
You buy your battle pass yet?
Yeah, I've been playing. No, I might though. How much are they?
$10. And then if you play it enough, you will actually because
pay for the next one, right?
Yeah, eventually you'll get to a tier. I don't know if it's over like a couple tiers, like you get 500 V-Bucks and then you get that twice, or if it's just you get 1,000. But eventually it will pay for itself if you play enough. And the seasons last long enough that, I mean, if you're playing a couple times a week, I'm pretty sure you should be able to hit that mark without like, killing yourself to get there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually been playing a lot with Jules Watcham, and he's kind of the one that got me into it because I really wasn't feeling it at first. Like before.
Yeah,
You know what? I think it honestly, it's like it has that slow start. It had a slow start for me because like the mechanics just aren't super tight, and the game's just not like Nintendo polishy. So I'm just.
You're a snob.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for putting those into words I was trying to say. Yeah, and so I started playing, and and then I got my first victory royale, I think is what it's called, with Jules, and it was like super satisfying. So, and then after that, like actually getting to to the point where you're killing people.
Yeah, and you sort of get the You get the game down enough where, you don't feel completely lost or just like, I hope I do okay.
Right, exactly. So, and then, you kind of learn different strategies you can work on, and it's awesome.
I like the runaway strategy.
Oh my goodness.
Although I really like those golf carts with the power slides.
Oh yeah, we had so much fun. That was hilarious playing with you. We were going everywhere. Now, right now, I'm playing Captain Toad as we speak, and that segues into my next quick bite, which is Captain Toad, which I've been playing a little bit of. And, remember last week I was talking about the pixel toads, and how that's kind of like boring, the concept, like it's not bad, but it's just, kind of meh. Well, and I was like, well, they're starting to get harder. Well, I had to look up on YouTube to find one of them. I was like, I cannot find this for the life of me. I spent 20 minutes on a level looking around, restarting. I was like, is the game bugged? I'm like, it's probably bugged. I'm just gonna restart it. I probably that
Nintendo polish though.
Man, exactly. They hit it. They had him good. And just now I'm playing on this lava level. And I'm trying to find it, and it's exactly like what I was saying before, is he's not just sitting, and actually spoilers, I guess, if you don't want to hear this, just skip ahead 30 seconds, but...
Is there spoilers for Captain Toad?
The solution, if you want to find the solution, whatever, but if you, like, in this level, he's not on any wall, he's jumping out of the lava, like, in this corner, so you can be looking... Like, I just realized that he's jumping, and I see this little pixel thing, like, jump out of the thing and come back. I'm like, wait, was that a lava spark? Your eye? Yeah, was that... was that a lava spark, or was that... My goodness,
or
that's
was
Captain
that love?
Toad. Yeah. And so, that's actually pretty cool. So, I'm excited to play through more, because I think now it's like, okay, you're not just finding a stationary toad somewhere on the wall. He could be interacting with things and stuff, So that's cool, right? And then the other thing that I noticed is on this level too, is that the super blurry. I don't know if this was in the first game or not. I'm playing mostly handheld. I had the chance to play on the TV. I do not like it as much. Do you know why? Because there's motion stuff that you have to do because there's touchscreen stuff. So they map that to motion. Okay?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way they do that is there's a cursor on the screen at all times. And then you can just move it around. Yeah, that's sort of
annoying.
So it is annoying. It's totally annoying. It's like it's ugly, and it's. I read Don's review on the website, and he said that you get used to it, right? And I'm sure you do. But I've just been playing mostly handheld. But I thought that was kind of unfortunate. And then the 2-player mode is like hard mode, because what it does is you can only play with 2 Joy-Cons each. You can't play a Pro Controller and stuff. And the concept is one of you moves and the other does a camera and then can shoot turnips Or yeah, at you can. I mean,
Does it
easy
feel
mode.
like shooting the stars in Galaxy, or the bits?
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Or it's kind of like I love that asymmetric
Multiplayer.
multiplayer. Yeah. I'm trying to think but co-op. I love that idea. It's like Blaster Master Zero, which if you ever get the chance to play, it's perfect. Like if you're playing that game and Kate could join in, she just takes a Joy-Con and then so she just has a cursor on the screen, and then so she's not doing any platforming. She's not defending. It's easier, and then you're helping. So you're shooting something. I think that's cool.
And it's nice because that's something where somebody could jump in for 5-10 minutes and they go, you know what?
Yes.
I'm done. Actually, like I'm ready to move on here. Like I'm done playing.
Exactly.
So they could jump in and out
Exactly.
real easy too.
Exactly. And I think you can do that pretty easily. I think you can switch to 2-player like anytime. But it maps with the second player because the dual analog is gone. It maps the second player to the camera. And so it's just, when you can't control the camera and you're controlling Toad, you can see how that could get problematic.
Yeah.
But then it balances it out with the second player can shoot. But, I was trying to do the challenges.
A nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, like I'd rather have it. I'd rather have it there than not. But it's not what I would rather. I would rather have like, I don't know exactly. I mean, like I would rather have full camera control and let me play and then have the other person just have.
You snob.
You know what I mean? Call me snobby shores.
Perfect.
Yep. But I think that's it for our quick bites. Which I think we did that pretty good. But it's time to move on.
It was quick, but that might have been the most volume of quick bites that we've had.
Like that was like an appetizer that you would buy, like
little fried calamari, maybe a mozzarella stick.
I'd say we're more like the boneless wings territory.
I could go for some boneless wings right now.
Yeah. And so, anyway, speaking of boneless wings, I have been playing a little game called Mugsters.
Yep, you always need your mug of beer with your boneless wings.
Mm-hmm.
Except,
sorry, I was drinking.
I don't think either of us drink that often.
Nope, mug of coffee.
Yeah, I got a big old mug of Joe.
Actually, a mug of coffee with hot boneless wings sounds awful.
Oh, yeah. Terrible combinations for 1,000, Alex, please.
When you have something spicy and then like you drink something hot and it's just like physically hot and it's just like it's even hotter. Anyway. Yes,
but
Mugsters. Mugsters. Yeah, so this is the new Team 17 published game, which has had a great record. I love Team 17. I mean, I love the stuff they've done. They've done the Worms WMD, which I haven't played yet, but I've seen it played, and it looks really fun. And that's one of the games that Super Rare Games is putting out physical that I will probably acquire. I will probably get it. And then they've done Yoku's Island Express, which I like that. Overcooked. I don't know if they're doing Overcooked 2.
Yes, they are.
They are? Oh,
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so, and then they've done some other cool stuff, too. And we met them at PAX and stuff. And, yeah, so Mugsters is another really cool game. I'm so happy. It's so fun to find games you don't know what they're about.
Yeah, you would have never have gotten
really cool. Yeah, and that's what's so cool about this. I'm here to tell everyone this is a really cool game, Mugsters. So the best thing I can put it, best way to explain it is it's kind of like a fast-paced, more central-focused human fall flat, which I talked about a few months ago, kind of before PAX actually.
What episode number, Perry?
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not Greg Leahy.
Yeah, but, it's uncanny how he could just pull out a number like, oh.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so the way, and if human, so it's a platformer / like physics-based, it's a physics-based 3D platformer, but it's kind of played at the isometric bird's eye view. A really, really small character on the screen. Like, and it's kind of cute. I like it that way because you can see a lot of the area. It's important to see a lot of the map, but like the tiniest character you can imagine, like N++ tiny,
like an ant.
Yeah, like a little ant you can crush.
Cheetah.
Anyway,
don't get PETA on us.
Oh, sorry. a little ant you can massage.
Into smithereens.
Anyway, so you walk around. And something I realized after playing for about a couple hours is that you do have full camera control. If you look at the footage I put up on our YouTube, I don't use the camera. I didn't know you could. Like,
Jimmy didn't know.
Funny? And it's mapped to the second analog stick. The way the game like looks and plays, it doesn't seem like it would be.
That reminds me of when I played. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. The cute little like Zelda grass cutting game.
Legend of Kusakari or something.
Yes,
like that?
That's it.
Is that what it was?
Yep, that was exactly it. When I was like, man, this game's insane. I thought I did that run perfectly, and I still didn't get a gold score. And then I realized you could run.
Back on the days of 3DS. Good days. Actually, pretty soon I'm going to be...
Oh, yeah,
3DS.
you are.
Oh,
your jam's
baby.
coming out.
Wario. Anyway, we'll save that for... Yeah, we'll say that for later. Mugsters, though, so the gameplay is you start off, like, they're islands. The levels are islands. You come into this island. It's set up... All of them are different, but the where it's different from Human Fall Flat for now is the goals of the levels are pretty similar. Instead of in Human Fall Flat, it's like completely different, like every single time. So Mugsters, so you go around. Like I said, it's heavily physics based, so it's a lot of just puzzling stuff. Like, how am I supposed to use this? Okay, this is dynamite. It can explode this. Can I use it to explode the rock on that wall? Oh, I can. It chips away when I do that. Now I can actually jump on that wall and then jump over it. And and then the really fun part is there's vehicles, all the different kinds of vehicles, like little cars that you can go fast and then you can ram into like you see this wall and you get dynamite and you explode it, right? And then so you drive around the car and you get out and get the dynamite and throw the wall. And then like I accidentally ran into the wall and I went through it and I'm like, oh, the car can go through the wall. Like, that's amazing. Like, I don't need to, that feeling of kind of empowerment. Like I can burst through all these walls. And then there's also some enemies that like these like fiery enemies like with two heads that run out and they'll just chase you, but then you can run them over with the car. So stuff like that. And so each level there are collectible like I forgot what they call them, collectible like orb things,
knickknacks,
nicky knackies, and then there's you can save your friends or save people, and there's these like just people that are in those like chambers, like those cryogenic chamber. Is that the right word?
Those are, yeah. I tell you what. Side note: I want to go in one of those so bad. You can actually like I've looked it up. It's like $50. You can go in like the sports. So you know how like sports players like after games or whatever like they jump in or they used to jump in like big tubs of ice.
Oh yeah.
Now they just step in one of those and they get blasted with like negative 200-degree weather or cold air, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to go in one so bad.
Oh wow!
It sounds.
But does their head stay out?
Yeah. It's like it's like
gotcha.
a standing. Yeah, and then like the top's open, so you just stand in it, and then it like blasts your shoulders down.
Wow. Yeah. Well, this is like not like that.
I was just saying,
like
complete side note.
But
there,
no, that's good. I didn't know that.
What we should do is when we you love the cold too.
Oh, yeah.
When I get over there to Iowa, we're going to look a place up, and we're going to go get that done.
Yes.
And we'll record it and put it online.
Yes. And I'll play Mugsters.
And then we'll tell the people there, we've been gaming so hard, we need to step into one of these.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Anywho, no, that's okay. But yeah, you gotta save your friends and keep them alive. They'll follow you around the map. They'll get in your car. And then the end of the level is you get into a plane and you fly off the island. And you can control... You could just, like you can just have fun and just fly around too. But if you crash, then you have to start over, you know. But you just fly away and that's the end of the level. And then you keep going. And it goes to the next island. And so each island, like, there's different goals. Like, one of them I figured out was, like, there's, like, this huge laser gun. And, like, one of the goals is just to start the laser or to do something. And you have to push the laser over and then go over to where it's pointing and then destroy something so that the laser could hit something. And then that started up this machine. So that was cool. And then, like, another one was like you're walking throughout the territory and this gigantic huge machine in a huge cage, like we're talking like just like a building sized machine, like wakes up and like is trying to get at you, but it can't because it's through the cage. But it's just trying to, like, you know, it's kind of scary, loud, and then so there was a dynamite machine right next to it. And I was just pulling out dynamite and throwing it at it. I was like, I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, is it gonna break open and it's gonna fall out, you know, or is it, like, can I damage this thing? And so I hit it like 2 or 3 times, and I killed it inside of the cage.
Boom.
Take that, PETA. But it's a robot though.
That could be the title of the episode.
Take that, PETA.
PETA.
Or what?
Yeah,
anyway,
no, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a game that's it's much more fast paced than Human Fall Flat. I keep going back to that because that's really the only, like, a physics based platformer, you know.
Now,
where
does that
you have to think?
Does that extra, like, it being more fast paced, is that something that you welcome? Like, do you prefer that, or do you prefer maybe a little bit more like Human Fall Flat, where it's not as quick?
I mean, well, they're so different. The dynamics are so different. And I think I love them both because Human Fall Flat, the whole point of that game is that you're trying to move as a human and you look like a ridiculous little toddler baby trying to control these 2 hands and just pull yourself up. It's comical. This game isn't as comical, and it plays more like a serious platformer, you know, where you're jumping. Yeah. I mean, not platform. I mean, like, it's not... The game isn't really about platforming, but I mean, you can run around and jump. I mean, you know what I mean? So they are 2 sides to the same coin, which I really like. And so I don't know. I'd probably say, like, I probably like Human Fall Flat more, like that style, because it's a little more diverse. But I mean, they're different too, and I appreciate both of them, and I really, really enjoyed Mugsters, really, and I'm having fun playing through it. So that was a really happy surprise, you know. And the color and the visuals are fun. The colors are beautiful.
Yeah, it's very. I really love the colors. They're just very strong. I feel like, you know, like everything has a nice strong color to it and stands out.
Yes.
And very, very cool. Yeah. Looks interesting.
So. Yeah, and it's out on the eShop, as we covered last week on the Roundup. So, check it out if that sounds cool. Yeehaw! But I believe that we can move on to your next game that you've been playing.
Yes, sir. And
I've been playing too.
Yes, you have as well, and I'm interested to hear what you have to think about Semblance. Yes, so this game right here is a cute puzz form, a little puzz platformer, and the idea of it is, instead of just sort of platforming on preset obstacles, you have not free reign, but you have a lot of influence on how the platforms sort of shape out, because there are different surfaces throughout the game, and by taking your little blob-like creature and dashing into them, you can manipulate how the ground or the walls or the ceiling, like, you could pretty much
certain grounds and certain walls.
Yeah, they're not. It's not completely sandbox in that sense, but Yeah, but by dashing into it, say you're underneath a soft surface that you could dash into, it will all of a sudden it'll start moving up, and you can keep dashing it up and up and up and make a platform. You can actually do it downwards. Sometimes is needed for getting underneath different obstacles as well. And what's cool is, I guess to sort of preface how this all works is, it doesn't really have much story. Like little bits you could pick up along the way, but essentially you're dropped in and you'll see these trees are sort of corrupted by these, like, it sort of reminded me a little bit of like the Axiom Verge like corruption. It sort of looks like that, and you can tell these trees are in trouble. So and there's a little portal, and you go in it, and there are 3 worlds, which are big trees, and then when you're inside of them, there are little hub areas, which ironically are smaller trees. So when you go into one of these...
Yeah, it's kind of confusing at first.
There's a lot of trees. Yeah, trees on trees. Yeah. But when you get into the little... Like, once you're within the world of the big tree, and then there are a number of different trees that you have to go into, and when you get in there, that's where the puzzles are. There are some puzzles in between the hubs, but it's very mundane compared to what's, waiting inside the trees. So once you're in there, there are different, depending on which one, there are a number of orbs you need to collect. And it varies. Sometimes there's only like 3, but then sometimes there's like, I think 5 or even 6 sometimes. So, and essentially each orb is hidden behind a puzzle. So you need to sort of figure out how to get to that orb. So early on in the game, they're pretty simple. It'll be like, oh, look, like the very first one you get is like literally like, oh, I can't jump and dash to that orb, but I can go underneath this surface and hit it upwards, and now all of a sudden I have a platform, like a little, it looks like a little hill, and you're like, oh, now I can stand on top of the hill and jump and dash and grab it. And in the beginning, it plays around more with that. There will be times when, like, oh, I can't reach the top there, but there is no way to manipulate the ground to rise up. But, oh, wait, the wall is soft. I can jump and dash into the wall and make a little, like, nook, and I can sit in there. So now I can jump and dash higher, and you sort of make, like, makeshift stairs on your way up to that. And it's really clever. And it's cool because, like I said, it's fun to manipulate, and they start getting, more difficult. They'll start introducing things like these lasers, which, if you manipulate an area of the floor, the wall, or whatever, but you manipulate it into that laser, then all of a sudden it slingshots back to its original position. So at first you're thinking, okay, this is very much like, all right, they're putting this here because I need to avoid it. And then all of a sudden, a little later on, you'll be like, oh, I can actually move, like, it's the laser's on a soft surface, so I can actually manipulate the area around the laser to point away, and now I can successfully climb up there. But then, all of a sudden, later on, you'll be using these lasers to your advantage, because you will need to get to an area that is by far too high for you to get over. And there's no other way to do it, except if you hit all the way down with the ground. If you manipulate it into that laser, now all of a sudden it slingshots back to its original position, but it launches your character way up in the air, and then you could dash over it. So it's really cool how they just continue to just sort of build on these ideas that they introduce, which for me I think is really important in a puzzle game, because the worst is when you have like a nice clever idea and then they just run it dry, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, that's the umpteenth puzzle I've done where it's pretty much the same thing, with a little different coding. So I really appreciate that they keep sort of ramping up these new ideas. And it can pretty much continues throughout the entire game, because eventually you get to the part where they have these very hard surfaces where if you dash into it, you actually end up manipulating your character. So your character's a blob, like it's, a little blob. It's a circle, essentially. And it's got pretty standard jump and, side lateral movement. But when you jump into this hard surface, you can flatten yourself. And now all of a sudden you can jump really far from the left to right, but you have a really, really bad, like, you don't get a lot of hang time, like you can only jump half of what your normal blob can. And you could also then in turn squish it so you're really like tall and slender. And now you can't move very far side to side on your jumps, but you could really jump super high. So
oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, the later puzzles start mixing and matching the other elements now with the ability to squish yourself. So it's really cool how it works out that way, and I really like that. The physics are a little finicky, not finicky, I should say.
Yeah.
They've got a little like inertia to them, right? So when you stop, you have a little bit movement afterwards, which is fine for the most part. But when you get a little bit later in the game, there are some areas where it got a little frustrating because there was one puzzle, for instance, that you had to raise up 2 areas from underneath, and like there were spikes all over the place. So there were really 2 tiny areas to jump on, and you need to flatten yourself. And it was just tough to be able to do the jump and then like not continue forward into the other spikes. So that it got a little frustrating with that. But the good thing is you can sort of move on. Like if a puzzle is too tough, the hubs are sort of non-linear, so you could sort of jump out or skip that and come back at a later date and go on to some other puzzles. So at least it doesn't bog down the experience too much. Now, there will be times when you actually end up getting stuck, because as you can imagine, being able to manipulate all of a lot of these pieces...
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, there were definitely times where I got myself stuck, because when you press A, it sort of gives off like a little radius, and it returns anything you manipulated in that radius back to its original position. So this is useful, obviously, if you manipulate it incorrectly, or you just want to start fresh. Like, oh, I think this might be wrong. Let me just sort of get a fresh look at this puzzle. So there have been times when you get stuck, but luckily they took this into account. Obviously, there are a lot of variables when you're able to manipulate so much of the world, So you could just press start, and it's you can hit the restart squish option, and it essentially drops you right back at the beginning of that puzzle. So it's really nice that has that quick option. It's quick. It's like there's no loading times. Like it's pretty instant. There was a time when I actually sort of squished myself into an area, and then I fell off the bottom of the level, and I just kept falling. Which, like, you normally be like, oh man, now I got to restart the game, or whatever. But luckily, the restart squish option fixed that right up too. So while it was a little like, okay, but it was such an easy fix that it was just something I didn't even think twice about, because it was like, okay, like I'm back to square one with a click of a button, But otherwise, the game looks really cool. It's got the minimalistic approach, where you sort of got your foreground and your background, and then, not a huge color palette, but what they do with the colors, I think, look really cool, and they're just like a lot of little creatures around, and they don't affect the gameplay, or you don't really interact with them at all. They're just there, and it's just adds some interesting life and aspects to the game as you're playing. That's sort of cool to visually look at. So, but the great thing about Semblance is that it's not one of those games where it's just going to give you 3,000 puzzles and you're going to play it for 30 hours, It's a relatively brisk experience. But like I said, what's beautiful about it is just that they keep ramping up with new ideas. They keep building upon ideas that they already do introduce. And it's something you can beat in a couple hours. And it was a lot of fun. And for me, I guess, I'm not the biggest puzzle fan in the world. So I think the idea that there are a very finite number of levels and puzzles to do, that was appealing to me.
Yeah, it's like Box Boy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
in that sense, and Box Boy is so good.
Oh, good old Box Boy.
At not repeating anything. Oh, Box Boy, dude, what? I hope that.
That would be a good for Switch. Whether they made a new one or just ported all of them over.
Oh,
like, that
just
would be a good
trilogy. They have to be, because they have to be, right? They have to be.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna keep saying it, because usually when I say that, like for Captain Toad and for Hyrule Warriors,
Perry's gonna will it into existence.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, no, I really like this game. I did the review for
Nintendo
Nintendo
it's a lot
World
of fun. It reminds me a lot of, honestly, like, I mean, maybe because you're just like this little slimy thing, but it reminds me of Slime Song a lot.
Oh yeah, it definitely I thought that as well, but not like where
like Metroidvania Slime Song.
Yeah, where Slime Song is very Twitch based platformer where it's do it fast. You know, obviously there's the timers on each puzzle, or at least each screen, I should say. Yeah, this is a more relaxed. You could sort of stop. You could think about a puzzle. You know, you can. It's fun to even if just you could mess around and try and do puzzles different way. I don't know how much replayability, like, once you beat it, like, I don't know how much you'll want to go back and play it again, you know? But it's only $9.99 on the eShop. I think a pretty great price for what it is. And the pacing, like I said, was just, there was never really, I mean, only one or two puzzles that really got a little frustrating, but otherwise it was, you know, it would make you think.
Smooth sailing.
It would make you, like it wasn't a cakewalk, you know. Like, you'd have to think about some puzzles and, like, but they were always fun, you know.
And, always obtainable.
And then
and it just required a little thought.
Yeah, so you're enjoying it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a huge fan of the art style. I mean, it's definitely cool. Like, it's not bad, but it's just like not my like
cup of
favorite.
tea. But not your cup of joe.
It's not my but I mean it's still cool. I don't even really know why I said that, but that's like my only complaint, I guess. I know that Good Shepherd. I was kind of looking into them. Just the publisher. They seem like they're really cool. I kind of want to interview them and see what they're all about, because they take they help. They help finance indie games and get them out and promote them and get them going and get the creators paid and stuff like that. And it looked really cool. Like, I love, you know, like they took everything seriously. So if anyone's ever heard of Good Shepherd, or if you know anyone that works there or anything, hit us up.
I bet you could shoot them an email and they might be more than happy to come on sometime.
I don't think so.
Inside baseball. But yeah, no, Semblance, if you were interested in a good old Puzz form, pop over there on the old eShop. And yeah, like I said, I did write the review for this site, so if you wanted to get a more in-depth analysis, that's the word I'm looking for, you could pop over to nwr.com, or NintendoWorldReport.com, I should say.
Well, that just works out pretty darn well then, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. But
so what you're saying is I should stop playing Captain Toad so I can talk about my next game.
Come on, you've already moved on to this next game. I know you're aiming for Justin Berubie's high score.
Not anymore. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think he is the current world record holder.
He's a monster. Of what game, Case?
Sky Skipper.
Insert expletive. Yeah, this game. This is the new. I'm gonna call it the new. I'm gonna call it the new because man, they're knocking it out of the park. Let's see with what are the games that they've released? Oh, Star Fox 2,
Donkey Kong Arcade.
Donkey Kong Arcade. That's
the original.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's been released, but it hasn't been, on.
Yeah.
And then they got, let's see, like Earthbound Beginnings, all these unknown
Mother
games.
3 one day, maybe.
Yeah. That GBA game on Wii U that I didn't get.
Oh, coulda in.
Yeah,
that's a fun game too.
And now we have Sky Skipper, which is the arcade game that there's only one unit in English, I believe, in America. There's one unit. And
I believe it's at Nintendo headquarters, right?
Yes, and so they went and Hamster. I don't know exactly their role, but I mean, I think it's cool that Isn't that funny? It's like we were like, who the heck is Hamster?
I know, yeah. It's seriously like, yeah.
It's so good.
The comment that you could look back on the most and be like, LOLOL, you know? Like,
Yeah.
what a bunch of Jimmies.
We didn't know. Yeah. yeah. But I don't know. The guy on the E3 video, he said, like, went back there and they talked to get it out, and it's awesome. It's such a cool idea. So seeing like screens of it, like when I saw it at E3, I didn't really understand what's going on. You don't know what's like. I really don't like watching gameplay of games if I know that I'm interested in them. Like if I know I'm not gonna get it, I might see like what it's about, and then I might get. But it's like if I know, then I don't really care to look. So I knew I was gonna get it because it's a new Nintendo arcade game that's never been released. Especially when I know that Miyamoto is a part of it. And he did the art for the side of it. See, now I want a Skyscraper arcade mini cabinet that I can put my Switch in. Oh,
make it, baby.
I should. I really should.
I bet you could. Honestly, well, can't you can't you buy those little arcade cabinets already, like blank? And then you could probably just print it out and adhese it somehow.
I know. Come on, Nintendo. Come on, do it. Just do it. I'll buy one. But so I didn't know what to expect. I've seen the screens. It's like it looks like unlike any other Nintendo game that I've seen. Like really, like because they have that weird pixel scaling where the main your main guy in your little plane, and then all the enemies are really small pixels. But then like the world is made of huge pixels. Like, and that's weird. Like.
Yeah, the screenshot you sent me to make the thumbnail for the gameplay video, I was like, "What is going on?" I was like, it's just like shapes.
Yes.
I'm like, this is so weird.
I know it's so weird, but I'm so happy to report that the game is freaking amazing. It is so much fun. The mechanics are tight. The rules are fun and easy to go by. The controls feel great. They actually feel good. You know, like Donkey Kong when
Yeah, it could be a little rough at times.
Yeah. No, these are great. And so and then it's so wacky and weird, and it's actually kind of impressive. Like I think this was 81. I think it says 1981 on there, which is
that's an old game.
That baffles me. That really baffles me because it's so much more advanced than like Mario Bros. Or Super Mario, or not Super Mario Bros. But like Donkey Kong or any of the black box games. I mean, this game is so cool. So what it is you start off each level, and it kind of has a Donkey Kong setup where you go through different levels, But and they think they start repeating. I haven't gotten crazy good. But yeah, so you go through levels and it has this like the deck of cards aesthetic, like the king and hearts and spades and clubs and diamonds, and so you collect these little animals that are like spades. Like there's I think there's a frog with a spade with a club or something like there's just little just so bizarre, like as bizarre as you can think. There's like a chicken with an icon on it, and then there's a jack and a queen and a king, and you have to collect those around the level. The way you collect them, they're hiding in like underground or
Crevasses?
in places. Yeah, in crevices, and you have to throw down your whatever it is, your missiles or whatever. You chuck them down to knock the beasts down, knock the enemies down, and once you knock an enemy down, every single one of the people, of the little guys you're saving, jumps out of the ground into the air.
Help!
Yeah. And this is kind of a cool puzzle thing too, because sometimes the enemies are walking over them, and if they're over them, they won't jump. So you have to wait and fly around for the enemy to leave, and then knock them down, and then they'll jump up, and you just go around and you collect them.
Now, I was watching a little bit of Justin. He was streaming it the other day. Do you have to collect them, like, the 4 of the same suit in a row, or can you, like, does it matter? Do you maybe get more points if you do that?
That must be something. Like, that's something that I have yet to learn. I'm sure Justin knows. I haven't read his review yet either. But, yeah, that has to be part of it.
Okay, but you can collect them not in order then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I have never tried to collect them in a certain order.
Okay, I bet you it probably just gives you better, more points or whatever.
Yeah. But the level design is even a lot of fun. Like they even go through some cool level stuff where, like, for instance, I think the 3rd level, or maybe it's the 4th, I think it's the 3rd. You have to, like, the level design's cool where you go, like, you can go left or go right. And if you go left, then there's, like, a narrow hallway with a big, huge, whatever these things are. Gorilla, they're weird. They're what
weird
are they?
Creatures.
Yeah, big guys. And he's blocking the path. And you have to wait for him to jump, and then you have to go underneath him, to keep going.
The old Bowser, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can go up to him, because when you shoot your gun or when you drop your bomb or whatever you do, you throw it out a little bit, but it goes down. Like, it doesn't go, like, left or right. It goes left or right a little bit. So if you go up really close to him, you have this very tight chance to throw it to hit him from the side. But usually you're throwing them on top of the enemies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. Yep, I gotcha.
So it's a really cool mechanic, because the enemies, either they throw this baseball thing, I think it's a baseball, and they'll try to hit you out. Actually, you don't
almost
actually
like a
die.
Firework, isn't it? Doesn't it sort of explode at the end?
Yeah, it explodes, and then like a firework, and then if you hit any part of that firework, it'll send you blazing down. And so it's not necessarily death, but if you have anything beneath you, it is. So you have to, like, make sure that.
So yeah, if you're in sort of a tight area, you're going to probably be piped.
Yeah, exactly, and and the game is never unfair. The only thing that could be unfair about it is when if you're using the stupid Pro controller and the D-pad messes you up.
God, dude, the D-pad is.
I haven't
bad.
been. Yeah, it is. It's a really bad. I mean,
it's unbelievable how bad it is.
Like, it's comfortable. The placement of it is cool and it's comfortable.
But the functionality.
The functionality is awful. It is. It really is. So, but there's, like, even little animations of, like, the king, like, waiting behind bars, right? Like, and he's grabbing the bars and shaking them, like, waiting. And it's just, like, it's fun. And everything's wacky. Like, what the heck? And then to top it off, it swears.
Yeah, I was gonna say
on the level screen.
Damn
and
it!
It's
right?
just like, yeah, and it's just like, what is this weird unreleased? I mean, but released game,
It's strange because, especially with, like, the NES, they were so bottled up with anything, like, oh, if there was a church, like, a cross, like, it had to be changed, and that, and then all of a sudden they're like, I guess it was pre them caring, I guess, they were still in, it's the Wild West of the arcades.
It's bizarre anyway, it's just like a weird, exactly.
But I also guess, if you think about it, arcades were probably more geared towards, like, teenagers and early 20s, right? 20-year-olds back in the day, sort of like the, hey, go to the arcades and hang out.
Ask Justin Nation. He'll know.
Yeah. In my day.
I wonder what he thinks of this game. I know what Justin Berube thinks, and he's the world master.
Oh, yeah. Justin, he loves him some Sky Skipper. I still need to pick it up. I definitely want to.
It's so good, Casey.
No, I know.
It's really, really, really good, and I'm really glad I picked it up. I was so surprised by how much I absolutely loved it. Very, very surprised. I mean, just because, it's just an old, like Donkey Kong is great, but it's like, it hasn't aged as well as this at all,
Yeah, it seems more like you can sort of get in and out, because especially, I know with Donkey Kong, I mean, for us, the games don't last very long, but, if you were really good at it, and you were really trying to sort of make maybe not a world record because those are crazy, but like even a really good score, you know, it's like it could take you hours, you know, where it seems like Sky Skipper's a little more brisk and and you know, in an arcade game like that, it's probably better to be a little more brisk than it is super like long, you know.
Right, exactly. Also, just to clarify, it is a gorilla. That's the guest star, and it's the King's family. It's not a Jack, it's a Joker. But then there's like a and then the other thing is it spells starring wrong on the on the main. It says starring Mr. U. You know, you saw that.
Oh yeah, I said Mr.
The guy's
U.
name
I
is,
thought that was funny.
Either it's it's like saying it's you, but it's Mr. U.
It's not me, it's you.
But it's starring Mr. U and co-starring the King's family.
the King's family.
Yeah, that's King, Queen, Joker, Spade, Heart, Diamond, or Dia, and Club. Not enough room. But, yes.
That's so
right,
funny.
I'm not wrong, am I? Starring it has 2 R's, right?
I believe so.
It has to.
Yeah, because, it would be staring otherwise.
Right? Yeah, it is. It has 2 R's. Man, I was like, oh no, what if I'm the idiot? The game's the idiot.
That's the worst. I was filling out I had to fill out another application thing for my transfer, and it was like country, and it was like, but spell it out. Like normally country has like a drop, you know, like you click on it, United States is at the top, and then like you scroll, and I'm like, am I reading this right? Like, is it trying to say like county or something? I was like, and of course it was like for a job, you know, I was like, I didn't want to screw it up. It'd be like,
right,
what country do you live in? Right. Suffolk County.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
Oh,
I was like, all right, yeah. I had to Google it. I was like, okay, Jesus.
That's funny.
But yeah, Sky Skipper, man, I definitely am going to get this game at some point because, like you said, it does look like more fun than it looks like there's just way more variables than Donkey Kong.
No, yeah. I mean, it truly. I promise you, it ages so much better than Donkey Kong or even Mario Bros. For that matter. I mean, it really does. It's a fun game, satisfying. It's a roguelike. I mean, like I was just thinking about it today. I mean, it truly is. I mean, the same thing and the same idea as a roguelike. The arcade game and the roguelike game are the same.
Yeah, essentially, they were.
Prove me wrong.
I mean, it's true. It's you play until you die and you start fresh.
Yeah, and so it's a really, really fun game, and I recommend anyone download it, not only for history's sake, but it's actually legitimately a really fun game. And make sure you turn the screen filter off. That's what you got to do. You turn filters off. If people don't know that, because then it makes it perfect pixel. But yes, Sky Skipper, I want another one. I want a new. I want something in Smash about it. Maybe there will be. There could be. I wouldn't be surprised.
Imagine it was the new character was just the plane. You just fly around destroying everybody.
I hope that his real name is Mr. U. Like, I hope that's I should look that up.
Oh, Mr. Hugh.
Yeah, not Hugh. You.
Hugh.
Hugh Jackman.
Good old Jackman.
Now, speaking of Hugh, I believe Hugh have been playing a certain billiardy game.
Yes, the most insane game of all time, and that is Pool Panic.
Do you notice the striking parallels between real life and billiards? Pool Panic. Do you relate to the common cue ball on a spiritual level? Pool Panic. Do you yearn to carom your body into those of others around you with the sole intent of depositing them into a hole? Pool Panic. Do you have a...
You say most insane game of all time, and I'd like to show you a game called WarioWare.
I don't know, man. This game is bonkers. It is just, it's insane. It is so weird. And I should say I haven't played a ton of it. I'm going to keep playing it, but it is just so weird. So, okay, you are your little cue ball, and unlike, I think they dubbed it the most unrealistic billiard simulator. Like
Pool simulator. Yeah.
So they're not trying to play, like, this is in no shape, way, or form, like, standard pool at all.
Right.
So, you know, they sort of drop you into, like, probably the most normal-looking pool table, and to give you the basics. And essentially, you can run around the entire area, free reign, like there's no limitations. You can run around. And then you can just, you sort of aim, and then you can just hit the trigger buttons to have the pool stick come and whack you. So you can do a soft shot and a hard shot. And essentially, you're just trying to get all of the balls into the hole, and then, or the, you know, the pockets that are spread across the area, and then you hit the 8-ball, and then once you hit the 8-ball in, you run and you jump into that same pocket as the 8-ball, and you've completed the level. Now, the levels are just crazy. So, for instance, like the one level I was on, you're in like a camping area, and the whole overworld map is just, it's really cool because it has that sort of, I'm blanking on the name. Oh my goodness.
What is it?
Cartoon Network. What is Adult Swim? That's it. Like that. That's okay, sort of like, and I think it is from Adult Swim games, right?
It is. Yes.
Yeah. So it has that. Like you can imagine sort of the art style they're going for. Then, very weird. And the map is really cool because it's just sort of all over the place. And you, when you're on the overworld, you just sort of go to different areas, and they have like little spots you jump in. And one of the first areas is sort of like the forest, sort of like camping area. So you jump in there, and all right, so there are a bunch of balls scattered about, but each of the balls have different personalities. So some of them are just, they'll stand there and you can sort of line it up, and it, you know, you can take your sweet time, like, okay, I'm going to go into there, and depending where you're hitting the ball, like, they'll show where it will ricochet, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, you know, you can sort of line it up, but then there would be balls that don't let you do that. They're the yellow ones are scared, so when you're lining up against them, they're like, oh my god, and they run away. So, like, for those balls, you either need to be really quick, or you need to hit a different ball into that ball to get the scaredy balls into the pocket. Then there are balls that are like, they chase you, and they'll pick you up and they'll throw you in the pocket. So you're like, okay, I need to stay away from those guys because, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to mess me up. But then in this level, there's one of the balls is barbecue and burgers in the middle. And you'll notice, like, okay, I've knocked... exactly. I've knocked a bunch of these balls in, but there's still a couple missing. And then you'll look, oh, man, they're hanging up in the trees. How do I get those balls down? Well, you need to hit that grill and knock the patties off the grill onto the floor, and then these balls come flying down to eat the burgers. And when they're eating the burgers, that's when you can hit them. But they eat the burgers pretty quick, so you need to be pretty quick as well. So it's just it's bonkers.
So it's total like puzzle. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there are definitely like some elements you'll need to think and like okay, I need to do this to get that, and you might not know that, and I guess you sort of have to decipher how to get certain balls to get where you want them to be. Right. And it's just, like I said, it's just really, really bonkers. And like I said, I'm not too deep into it. By the time with the surgery and everything, it was like I didn't get to play a ton of it. So I'm going to talk more about it next week. But this game's tough. Now, here is what I would recommend to you. When you start the game, there are, in the bottom corner, there are 4 trophies. There is a time. There is a number of hits. There is... it's a sock. So if you cue ball, or you scratch, essentially, you end up losing that. So it's like, okay, so essentially, like, complete the level without scratching. And then I'm blanking on the last one now, of course, but they're essentially it's just getting all the balls in. That's right. Because you can, on some levels, I've noticed, like, the 8-ball will start to sort of glow when you can hit him in. And, like, some of the levels don't require you to hit every single ball in. And I think like, the ones that were up in the tree, like, I think you could complete that that area without getting those ones in. But if you want to get the trophy, you're going to want to hit all the balls in. Now, I found myself in the beginning like, oh man, I took too many hits. Let me restart this. Okay. And I restarted one of the earlier puzzles like 3 or 4 times, and then I got it. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, I'm not even going to deal with the time because the time is like too hard. Like that would be something once you get really good, you can come back and try and do. But I was trying to stay under the stroke limit, and I was trying to not, scratch, which not scratching isn't too difficult, but all of a sudden you run into one of those balls that are going to toss you in the pocket, it becomes a little more difficult. And then what's tough is getting all the balls in while staying under the limit of hits. So there is an option, and this is what I would recommend, and I've found it to be more enjoyable, is you can hide those trophies, because essentially they're always in the bottom right corner, bottom left corner. They show you like the status. Oh, you've hit 3 out of the allotted 17 hits, or whatever. And it's like, all of a sudden now you're like, oh, that level took me way more hits than the trophy, and you feel bad. You're like, maybe I should restart that and try and be a little bit more judicious with my hits, And I just found I was restarting levels, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to try and beat this without hitting too many times. Like, I'm not just going to be willy-nilly just, literally blindly hitting the ball and just hoping they go in. Like, I'm still going to try and do it right, but I don't want that constant reminder there to remind me how poorly I'm doing, So, and especially, like, the time ones are so
you're
difficult.
Saying turn that off.
That's what I would recommend. And then maybe once you sort of get really good at the game, maybe you play, because I'm pretty sure I think I've heard like over 100 stages in this game. So like there's a lot of content. So maybe when you've played 50 of them and you're like, you know what? I feel like I've really gotten good at being able to move and line up hits in one shot, Then maybe you could go back, turn those on, and focus on those a little more. But at least early on, like, don't stress it. Like I said, I know I was doing it early, and I'm just finding that I'm having more fun not worrying about those things. And I'm glad that they give you the option to sort of turn you can still
turn the temptation off.
Yep, you can still achieve those trophies, and they'll tell you at the end of it. But I don't want it to track the entire time, because then that's in my mind too much, So
sure.
So that's what I would recommend.
So there's psychological warfare going on.
Yeah,
with you.
the dang pool panic. But yeah, the game is just crazy. I love the art style. Like when you fall after you beat a stage and you jump in the pocket, all of a sudden like it shows your cue ball falling into the abyss, and like all the other balls and things like falling and floating down. It's really bizarre. And
I love it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I still am early on, so I'm excited to see like what other crazy and kooky ideas that they sort of have in store for us. But yeah, very strange game. That's for sure. Even if you're not interested, I'd recommend to just go check out a video to see how weird it is, because it really is strange.
I love strange.
Yeah, me too. That's
kooky.
Yeah, that's why I love weird things, like really weird things. So that this is right up my alley.
Right.
But yeah,
you are a creepy weirdo.
Panic. What you say, Jimmy?
I said you are a creepy weirdo.
You make me sick.
Well, if I make a creepy weirdo sick, then I must be disgusting.
You're a piggy.
All right. Well, speaking of piggies, let's take a quick break. Come back, round up all the piggies in the eShop Roundup.
Whee! Alrighty, we are back, and it is that time once again, Perry, for the old eShop Roundup.
Woo!
The eShop Roundup.
Yes, and again, hello, YouTube viewers.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, yeah. And giddy up. And we're going to go through the latest releases in the last week. The beauty of the eShop Roundup is usually we release this on a Wednesday. So the next day, you can look yourself, or you can wait till the next week. It's fun this way. Also, it's the way we have to do it right.
That's just how our recording schedule falls.
That's
the cookie
right.
crumbles, as they say, Perry.
That's right. But first off, no, not Hungry Shark World was last week. So we're starting this one with the Moose Man at $6.99. You are the Moose Man, and you have the ability to see all that is hidden to the mortal eye.
Sounds like an all-powerful
really cool,
being.
Man. Look at this game. This looks cool. This looks kind of horror-ish, right? But beautiful.
Yeah, I guess. I guess sort of being in the woods, dark, always sort of has that little creepy vibe to it.
Yeah, but
I guess it's
cool
an
game.
adventure platformer. Saying it's got some puzzle elements thrown in here.
It's only $6.99. Might just have to go to that proceed to purchase.
You won't.
But not on this one. I won't because
I'm
it's Jill's.
on Jill's.
Yep, it's true though.
That's
But
what
next
say.
up, I know what you're thinking. Where's our Animal Rivals game?
Well, it's here.
And where's our Nintendo Switch edition? And it's right here with Animal Rivals Nintendo Switch edition for $2.99.
Well,
which is 25% off right now.
$3.99, 25% off. Become a real party animal in this crazy party game. Yeah, so I guess we got some puzzly games. I mean, it looks sort of cool.
Yeah.
It's weird because like you look at like I guess one world looks like Minecraft-y, voxel art, and then the next one's like more realistic, I guess. I mean, not realistic, but
I love
more.
how it's the no necks guys, like that, the one with, like the.
You
cat
got a problem, bruh.
Yeah. Anyway, yep, that's interesting.
Moving right along here, we've got Vertical Strike Endless Challenge for $4.99. Wipe out endless waves of enemies, Perry, in this little shooter right here. I guess, I mean, by that tagline, it sounds like it'd be a roguelike of some sort. Or
I'm checking out the video right now, and I'm hoping that it shows some gameplay.
Cutting-edge maneuverability.
The logo makes it look like it's called Arctica Strick.
I like this bullet note right here. Take screenshots and post scores online. Post screenshots of your high scores to social media and compete with players around the world.
Well, there you go. If you like Flight Simulator and shooting stuff, and looks like you can even attack battleships and stuff, so anti-ship arcade modes, boom, $4.99.
Speaking of shooting games, we've got Starship Avenger, Operation Take Back
Earth.
And I like how Starship Avengers caps, and then the operation was not as important.
Right.
But $4.99 right here. This again looks like another.
Man,
this looks more like a classic shmup.
Yeah.
Side scrolling.
With a huge ship.
Yeah, the ship takes up like
looks like
I'd say at least a third of the screen.
Yeah.
At least lengthwise.
Like lengthwise, yeah. And then it looks like you have a cursor on the screen that you move around.
Yeah, that interesting.
I think.
Yeah, no, I see what you're talking about.
You chain the attacks together, so.
Yeah, and it looks like
cool.
Looks like you can upgrade that ship pretty extensively.
Yep.
Potentially, I don't know. But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Also, we have Tanzia. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. And this is an interesting looking game. $19.99. Unravel the mystery of your grandfather's disappearance while preventing a terrible evil from destroying your island.
Little RPG elements in there, maybe?
Adventure action. Kind of looks like a Zelda game, kind of plays like a...
Looks like a... Yeah, if you look at the HUD, it looks like you got all your skills on the bottom. It sort of reminds me of like a little Diablo-esque.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, there you go.
Or like World of Warcrafty.
Like little, ooh, look at that guy.
Actually, yeah, the HUD looks very World of Warcrafty.
You know, that guy over there looks like what I look... If you look... You see the guy that's like screaming, huge mouth?
Yep.
That is exactly what I looked like when I broke my toe last week.
I thought that was you without coffee.
No. No, but anyway.
This next game.
This looks cool.
Pure / electric love. Look at my eyes.
Look at my eyes.
Dash Mo, and it just Mo Yamauchi.
Yamauchi.
For the Jimmy price of $5 even.
This is amazing.
And know what's interesting?
So is it a quote? Look at my eyes from Mo Yamauchi.
I don't know. I'm looking at him and I'm a little scared.
Those are pretty eyes, I guess. But there's one image.
You know why she wants you to look at her eyes? To avoid her teeth.
Like, Casey.
But anyway, Jimmy price of $5. There's some DLC.
Okay, so you can get
that is more money.
Additional scenario set number 1. Let's see. There's lots and there's scenarios. What does that mean? Tell me.
I feel like we're gonna have to put like an the rated R for this eShop Roundup, or rated X.
But what is it?
Let's see. A love likeness pseudo talk game. Electric love. That is the topic in the smartphone. A little embarrassing in a conversation that pounding. Romance. Skill up. This is. Oh, here you go. What is pure electric love? Reply to questions from her. Please please her. Sometimes a little annoying.
Kakihiki is important for love affair.
What is going on?
Or I'd rather pronounce it cake hike.
Or should we go down to the how to play? Launch the application and select tell or touch. Oh, we should just move on.
Let's do that.
Ooh, good lord.
Anyway, I think we have another one coming up anyway, so. Okay, next up we have Chicken Assassin Reloaded for $7.99. You're Mean McAllister, the baddest chicken in town.
He really looks like the baddest chicken in town. You see this man?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, whoa.
He's got muscles on top of muscles.
Yeah.
But I love that they keep the chicken legs intact.
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and look at
funny.
I love the main picture of him with that huge gun, so big that he has to hold it from the front end too.
Yes. That's very funny.
This game sort of looks amazing.
It does, yeah.
Well,
one player, $7.99.
Moving along here, we've got an Arcades Archives City Connection for $7.99. Hop into your beloved what's that? Clarice car? And chase patrol cars on highways around the world.
This game looks cool. Is it like a like a platformer, like with cars?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like
it looks cool.
I like you got the New York City skyline in the back there. Looks like maybe London, some sort of castle.
That's what I was gonna say. Now you have driven all the highway.
1985.
All right. Cool.
All right.
I like it. I love these weird arcade games. You got Paris, so obviously. Oh, okay. So, next up, we have a game that we do have a review on Nintendo World Report for, which is Frost for $12.99. And I believe that
Build
David
your
Lloyd
deck.
reviewed it.
Survive the storm.
Yes. And so this is a card game.
Yeah.
I see that IGN Greece gave it a 7.9 out of 10.
You know what's funny too is that they lead with that one. The one, I mean, I know IGN out of those the outlets listed there is obviously the most popular, but yeah, 7.9. But then all of a sudden the other 988. Yeah, Frost is a deck-building solo survival card game set on the harsh frozen world. Storm. Yeah, looks alright. I guess if you're into some card games, it could be interesting. But
absolutely,
the real heavy hitter here that we've all come to want to get into is Pure Electric Love. Everyone else, Emma Sakura. Excuse me.
What in the heck? All right.
Well, she's let's see. Emma is I guess she's a cosplayer. Her birthday's November 9th. She's got the blood type B, and she likes karaoke. Karaoke.
Custom you like, favorite cute.
Ugh, God.
I just love it so much. All right, let's move on to Lost Phone Stories, $9.99. And if this is from the Lost Phone series, obviously, and you can get a little discount if you own those. And this is like where you find a phone and you like are looking through it and you're figuring out
You're
stuff.
creeping on someone's personal photos and such.
This is being a pervert.
Yeah, if you're some sort of pervert.
Yep.
But Perry, I was a little worried for a second. But it's a week.
Why would you ever be worried?
You know what? I don't know why. For some reason, I was thinking this week the eShop Roundup wasn't filled with a bajillion games, but who was I kidding? Of course, here we've got Neo Geo League Bowling for $7.99.
Look at that guy. He has a nice dentist.
I like the pictures are so. I guess I don't know why the one guy's falling off the. It looks like a tall skyscraper.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, bowling games are fun. I always like the beer frame. Do you see that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like cool spot.
I think we have our thumbnail for this episode.
Beer frame.
Absolutely, right there. That's amazing.
Bowling games are great. I always like bowling games.
Yeah. Bowling is fun, too. Look at the characterization in this game. It's great. So, cool. League Bowling, $7.99. Might just have to pick that one up. Now, next up, what do we got, Case?
We've got No Reload Heroes for $9.99. This is a fun co-op party shooter for up to 4 people.
Oh.
And, yeah, it looks sort of cool.
Looks kind of like it's Zelda, like, perspective.
I love
Zelda.
how all the characters look pretty similar. It looks like they have a few facial differences, but like they're all sort of in their colored robes. Like you said, sort of reminds you of like Four Swords a little bit in that sense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Now, is it online?
If it was online, I would be interested. But it looks like it's local co-op.
Still cool, but yeah.
Look at that 5-second learning curve. Almost anyone can play No Reload Heroes, from the casual player to the seasoned gamer.
Well, there you go.
Boom.
But let's move on to Ghost 1.0, 1.0, I should say. It's a Metroidvania where 2 super hackers hire a mysterious agent in order to infiltrate the Nakamura space station and steal the greatest electronic secret ever.
I looked at that quick and I thought it said to steal the greatest electronic seat ever.
Seat.
We need that computer chair. $9.99.
Every single one of these screenshots, the character looks is not moving. So it's like they went and they stopped the screenshot and then they took a picture.
I feel like
they had the same stance in every single one of them.
I feel like I run into that situation sometimes when I'm like taking screenshots for reviews, and I'm like, man, I need to, and I'm like, no, I need to double back. And I was actually for Octopath, just because the game's beautiful, I was taking screenshots. I'm like, yeah, every time I'm not moving, I was like, I need to double back and then try and take an action shot of me crossing that bridge.
Yep. So you got to reach over with your right thumb and like take the picture while you're moving with your left.
Dang old Bobby. Moving along here, we've got Sausage Sports Club for the Hemi price of $15 even.
Yeah.
A physics game about floppy animals competing on a reality TV show. What else could you ask for?
Yeah.
It looks wonderful. I love the kooky idea. Like everything just looks kooky. You know?
Topsy-turvy. Yeah. Is that a shark? Is there a shark in there?
I think so. I tell you what, it's tough to read the description because they have like that lime green background with like the teal font on top of it.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the trailer right now, but I will go back to
but
that right
it
now.
is 1 to 8 players, so it's a party game. So that's pretty cool if you do have people to play with, local.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks. I think I've heard good things about this game.
Yeah, I remember when this was in the. This was in that Nintendo, the Nindies Direct thing. So.
Next up here we have Guts and Glory for $14.99. Perry, the objective is simple: race to the finish line while everyone tries to kill you.
Oh, it's like my daily life.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah.
That screenshot of that guy like
Slamming out of the car. Is that the one you're looking at right now?
No, the next one, I think.
When he's just...
No. The guy that's like falling down, like with like frisbees around him. Whatever those are.
How about the next one where it looks like a guy in just like a chair with like... He's going the wrong way. That guy looks like he's in a world of hurt right now.
This game looks funny. Alright, $14.99. Race to the finish line. I can dig it. But, can you dig Pool Panic?
Pool Panic.
$14.99. Yes, Pool Panic, this very cool game we just talked about on the podcast. Hey, if you're listening to this on YouTube and you haven't listened to our podcast, check it out. Casey just talked all about it.
Yep, and if you're listening, it might, we upload every podcast to the YouTube as well, although you'll have to wait a day until it gets up there. But yeah,
that's right.
Kookiness. Moving along. Next up here, we've got spheroids.
Spheroids.
Which again, I like the colors, but the combination is tough to read.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
so
interesting. So
in spheroids, you take control of Lucas, a jumpy Canadian boy. Sounds like David.
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm looking at these screens, I see that the world is blocky, but the enemies are spheres, are circles. So now I get it. Now I get the reasoning.
You got to rid the world of the spheres. They're bad. They're bad for business.
Is that what it says?
No, I made that up on the fly.
Man, yeah, that's hard to read. Everyone, look at this.
My eye.
Bad. Yeah, make it so you can read it. So you don't want to go, let's go to a different game because it's hard to read. So let's do that. Actually, let's go to a different game called VSR, Void Space Racing.
A fast-paced racing.
That's the Wii wheel. That is the Wii wheel. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks just like it. I'm loading the video right now.
That is so funny. It's a fast-paced racing with no friction. It's sort of a weird sentence.
Yeah. That is weird.
Not great
It's
English.
where you fly around as a couple of Wii wheels.
For $9.99. Yeah, I mean, the Wii wheel racing.
I'm looking at it. It looks just like it.
The environments look pretty cool, and look at that, some good old-fashioned split screen.
Yeah, it looks fun.
You don't see that too often these days.
You know what this reminds me of? Of the Star Fox Grand Prix game that's coming out.
Ooh, that unannounced one that Nintendo is assuring us more games are coming.
Well, the people that are watching this 2 years from now,
what a bunch of yims.
watching the eShop, or listening to the podcast, they're gonna be like, those guys didn't know, but we're gonna be ahead of the game. So we're gonna say this looks just like Star Fox Grand Prix.
Boom.
All right. No, looks cool. I like it. I can dig it. Now, what I can't dig is werewolves. But $1.99 begs to differ. It's the most entertaining pinball. Oh, this is from Enjoy Up. So, okay, this is the table. This is a werewolf table. Oh, no, I hit proceed to purchase.
Oh,
okay.
Buy it for Jill, you big Jim. She got you those shrimps. You deserve to give her something.
I do. I don't think she wants a digital pinball game about werewolves.
How do you know?
That's true. Not that it looks bad or anything. It looks fun if you like werewolves, and I like a good werewolf. You know.
Now, next up here, we've talked a little bit about this game before.
Yes.
And that is Arcade Archive Sky Skipper for $7.99. Yes,
there it is, Mr. U.
The unreleased, but I guess sort of released because there is at least one in the world, arcade game from 1981.
I was right. Okay, yes, 81.
It's a long time ago. And look, it has
the screenshot with the swearing on it.
I'm surprised they put that up there.
Yeah.
Nintendo these days.
Yep.
What do we got next, Perry?
Edgy. They're edgy. Next up, we have Hiroki, which is for $9.99. Clear the skies for a new hero. So, tell me what does it say in the description of what this game is?
A peaceful sky village of Levantia is in danger. The dastardly Dr. N. Fortune and his accomplice Vapor have stolen the Emerix, a powerful amulet.
This is a delightful looking game.
And all hope may be lost, Perry. But yeah, I really
cute
actually
little platformer.
very colorful. I'm looking at that one screenshot.
Oh, wow, yeah,
with like
yeah.
this, it looks like the sunset or sunrise in the background, water level.
Yeah.
Really, the colors pop.
Oh man, it looks great. Yeah, it looks like a lot. It looks cool. It looks like a lot of fun. We have a review on the site for this.
Ooh,
So
I
check
think
out-
I
check
might
out
have
the
to go check that one out myself.
Yep. So let's move on.
Life
to
goes
the next
on.
Game. Man, there's so many games, Case. Life goes on. So let's move on to Life Goes On.
$12.99. Yes,
What in the heck?
life goes
What
on.
is-
Done to death. That's the
Done to
tagline.
death. That's funny.
Uh,
It's a platformer.
Yeah, a little. They're saying some puzzle elements in there as well. Looks
The
interesting.
ambidextrous Miss Dawn Parker.
I like your little like
Interesting.
armored knight man.
Yeah, he's cute. That's okay. $12.99. That's a interesting looking game. Now,
Hey Perry, you like free
have a f-
downloads?
well, why not?
Because we got Zakaria Pinball. It was
All right.
founded by three brothers, Marino, Franco.
Could be Zachariah.
What's up?
I think Zachariah has an H on the end.
I don't.
Anyway,
I can't
yeah,
read.
we can
Perry.
say Zachariah. We can say Zachariah. I just want to throw it out
Well,
there.
it's more pinball.
Okay, so more pinball.
And this one's
ZZZ.
free. They do have some DLC table packs, so I guess if that free table pulls you
Wow.
in, you could buy some more
Look
tables.
at all of those. There's a lot of tables.
Yeah, if you like the let's see, table pack 1 includes
Oh my goodness.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables.
I want
so
the Mexico 86 table. What? Am I missing something? What happened in 86 in Mexico?
I don't know.
All right, well, find out for $1.99. So,
Something went down.
pinball. Next up, we have one of the best names I've ever heard
Ugh.
for anything, which is Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill Slaps and Beans. It's the first official Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill video game. Now, I'm going to tell you
Slaps
right
and
now,
beans.
I don't know Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill. Do you know who that is?
I think they're the team behind Slaps and Beans.
Yeah, but have you heard of them before?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, interesting. Well, it looks like you're slapping people and beaning people.
Yeah, it looks like a little beat 'em up
Yeah.
going on, but then it looks like there were some like racing spots as well. So it might be I like the I presumably they're Bud and Terrence walk into the bar right there, the saloon if
Yeah.
you will, ready to kick some
Yeah, look at them.
keisters.
That's like us right there.
Yeah.
At the YouTube Saloon. That's me and you.
So you're Bud and I'm Terrence.
Yes. That's amazing. Dang it, now I gotta think about if I'm gonna do this or the beer frame.
That is so
Because
good.
that's almost too perfect.
That is so good. I need to take a
That looks-
screenshot of that one. Oh, I can't even take a screenshot of the freaking eShop Roundup. Oh, that's so
I'll
funny.
send you one. That is funny. Okay. Well, it's $19.99.
Oh, man.
That's too good. Woo! Next up, though, we have Semblance, which we talked about again right before. Check out the earlier part of the podcast. If you're listening to this, it comes out on Thursday. But yeah, cute little puzzle form that we were playing, and you can see right here, it's really cool. So,
Yeah, $9.99, and it's on sale through the end of the month. Ends
Yep.
the 31st. I believe it's, I have it,
$1 off.
It's 10% off, right? So it's $8.99?
Yep.
Boom. Nice price for that game.
Uh-huh.
Now, the
And-
next two, we got a little couple of collections coming up here.
Yeah, it's the last.
Yep. And
We're ending the eShop Roundup with a couple collections.
the old Mega Man X Legacy collection for $19.99.
Yep.
The Ultimate Mega
Yeah.
Man X Experience. Of course, this is gonna have all of those good old Mega Man games: X, X2, X3, and X4.
Okay.
And then I think Mega Man X Collection 2 is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yep. So
Man, these are
it's
pretty games, aren't they?
oh, Now, have you ever really played Mega Man X games at all?
I have played Mega Man X. I have played it, like, for a couple hours.
See, for me,
but that's it.
I had Mega Man...
But yeah, isn't that, like, your jam?
I had Mega Man X growing up, and that game is just phenomenal. The music, like... Oh, the music is so good, the gameplay, the bosses, but I've never gotten into any of the other X games. I think I bought X2 on the Wii U, and I played like a little bit, but I never made it all the way through. I'd love to check these out, but just right now, it's just time, man. I need more time.
Yep.
But yeah, I can speak volumes for Mega Man X, and I know a lot of people have strong affinity for the whole series. So each of those collections are $19.99 a pop.
Yep. So collection 1 has 1 through 4, and then 5 through 8. Is that?
Yes, sir.
All right. There you go. So very cool. This is one of the games that I hope is when I got that Target deal. I hope it's
hope it pans through.
Hope it ships. Yeah. My other ones were canceled, but this one wasn't. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I hope it goes through for you.
Yeah. But that's gonna do it this week for the eShop Roundup.
Perry, before we close out the eShop Roundup, which game caught your eye out of the lot there?
Yeah,
I like this. I like our little pick of the
our game
lot.
of the week. Well, let's just shuffle through. I think that absolutely my game of the week has to go to Skyscraper.
How about game? I guess so. Yeah, I was gonna say games we didn't play. I mean,
games we didn't play.
Which I guess that's, if you're watching on the YouTube, obviously
Gotcha.
you might not know. We already went over the games we've talked about. I played Semblance and Pool Panic, and Perry played Sky Skipper and
Semblance,
and Semblance as well. So
I'm gonna say that the Hiroki.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hiroki as well, with a close second being League Bowling. That game looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, League Bowling too. So, yes, very cool. Well, let us know what your guys' picks are. If you've played any of these games, let us know if we should pick any up.
Yes, sir.
Because we need to know this kind of stuff. So, thank you so much for watching and listening on the podcast. And yeah, that'll do it.
Yep. And remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can check full episodes of the Talk Nintendo podcast on YouTube as well. They go up Thursday evenings, as well as the full audio version podcast as well on Thursday evenings. I can't speak tonight, Perry. Can't speak.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's
so
okay. It's because of your eye.
Yeah. My eye hurts, so my mouth doesn't want to work.
Yep.
But yeah. Thank you.
All right. Yep. And yes, goodbye, everyone. I got to make the proper goodbye for the YouTube video. But now we can move on to the...
But not everyone, because you're still listening to us. And
that's true.
We've got some more stuff to talk about. What are you saying over
I
there?
know. I'm making fun of you.
Why? Haven't I endured enough?
I know. On the week with your eye being gone.
You know what? I've realized sight is overrated. I'm pretty sure you can get disability pay if you can't see, so.
Oh. Oh boy. All right. Well.
Who needs eyes? Except to play video games.
It's true. You're probably correct.
But yeah, I guess
anyway.
We can move on over to the old YouTube Saloon.
The YouTube Saloon. The YouTube Saloon, baby. Woo!
And
we already got a glimpse of that on the eShop Roundup.
And there ain't much to talk about.
Nope. Well, I have something.
Oh, well, yeah, you've got some things going on. I will say, I guess to start us off here, no challenge this week, and I take full responsibility for that. It has just been hectic on my end, and I don't think I'm going to get around to it. So, but we will be back next week.
That's okay.
And because next week we will have a brand new one, and it's going to be of a relatively brand new game as well, and our first foray on the old tennis court in some Mario Tennis Aces. It should be, I mean, we recorded it already, so I know it's a good one, but it'll definitely be one you want to check out. It is a good one.
Absolutely.
But you have some things cooking up on your end that are really exciting to talk about.
Yes, with the upcoming WarioWare Gold coming out, which if people don't know, WarioWare is my favorite franchise ever. It really is. It's just my favorite. Me and Neil Ronahan, he wrote a thing, and I made a video of a little WarioWare piece that we're putting up on YouTube that's going to be really, really awesome. So check that out. It should be up. I think we might do a quick plug here for Patreon, because I think it might be going up early for the Patreon, but maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the NWR
NWR's.
Patreon, we should say. We don't have a Patreon personally.
Yeah, we don't have a Patreon.
The website's Patreon.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be cool. It's all about it's like the history of WarioWare summed up, and it has a bunch of gameplay.
And that'll be nice and topical, because we know that one will be coming out on the 3DS before we know it. Do you remember the exact date? I know it's August. It's early August, right?
3rd, I think.
Yeah, so it's right around the corner.
It's coming up, and I'm going to say this only to our podcast exclusive listeners, but you will see some games that I have actually made on that video.
Ooh, yeah, we know you are.
Which I don't think you've seen any of them.
I don't think so. I try to avoid anything you do, but I suppose if I've got to.
Yep. So there you go. All right. Well, I think that's it for the YouTube Saloon, right?
Yeah. Like I said, a light week on the old Saloon, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
But you know what?
I mean,
it's more. I guess
it ain't going anywhere.
I was gonna say, I guess it's more. It might be light, but not really. It's, if anything, more exciting, because every week we talk about a challenge. You know what I mean? Generally speaking.
Yeah.
So we got a little something different with the old Wario.
That's right.
But enough of that Wario talk, because it's time for some news talk.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Yes, it's the part of the week where we have news.
Yeah, and there's some news, I guess. Now again, I feel like I've been saying this the last the month. Yeah, there's really not too many big news bits coming out, but there's some decently exciting stuff to talk about this week. Big news on the Zelda crossover front, or as I have it dubbed here, Crossover City. Zelda will, and this actually, I missed it somehow. It must have just dropped when I wasn't on the computer for a couple days. Mario Kart, and Zelda crossover, that's already happened with the DLC, and of course, in Deluxe Zelda, Link was already, in the game, but now...
Yeah, he was in the original, yeah.
Well, yeah, the DLC.
In the DLC, yeah.
The Champion's Tunic will be making an appearance, as well as the Master Cycle Zero will be now...
That's awesome.
Introduced into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe via a free update that is already live, so you can go play that if you haven't already. The cycle just looks sweet. Looks great. Of course, seems like Link's getting that beautiful blue tunic all over the place with the Breath of the Wild.
It's funny that this actually happened, because on our interview with Martino, we literally talked about this, because I talked about how the motorcycle is canon.
Oh, yeah?
And how it's in Mario Kart 8, and he's like asking, is it the same one? And it is now. You can.
Well, we had the inside scoop from Nintendo. We didn't want to completely
Yeah, we didn't want to say
out,
that.
But, Bill Trinan, dropped me a DM, and he was like, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
He's like, you can tease it.
97.
He's like, you can tease it, but just don't confirm it. So.
Yeah.
But what I would say is arguably more interesting and cool to me is the Monster Hunter Generations Zelda crossover, which, again, the Champion's Tunic, you'll be able to wear that bad boy with the Sheikah tablet on your waist right there, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong, but now this next part, especially the second part, is the coolest. You wanna drop those two on us, Perry?
Yes, that you have the Korok helpers instead of the Palico.
Yep. Which the Palico are the cute little kitties that help you out, so you can have a little Korok seed help you out instead, which is really cool. But
yes,
now that I saw that and I was like, oh, that's awesome. That makes so much sense. And then this next one. So good.
Yeah, and then there's a mini Toon Link Palico.
So you can just have little Toon Link running around helping you.
That is so. Is it look like a cat?
No, it looks just like Toon Link. Just like half this. Like, I mean, I guess Toon Link is pretty small. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
it just.
But I gotta.
Yeah, no, you should.
Look this up.
You should look that up right now. It's just he's got little cat ears and a little cat tail, but otherwise he is Toon Link.
That's
and
amazing.
He actually carries
really
the Wind
funny.
Waker.
Awesome. As he should.
And like,
If you have the
honestly,
Wind
like,
Waker, why wouldn't you carry
those
it?
other things I think are cool enough, you know, that I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. But like the mini Toon Link, it's just so over the top. It's perfect, you know.
It is. Yeah, totally. And they have had Zelda crossover already. In there. And
It might have
there...
been in the other Monster Hunters.
There was Xenoblade DLC in Breath of the Wild, right?
Yep, yeah, you can get Rex's.
That's so weird, isn't it? That's weird. Anyway,
I guess you know what?
all
If
these
any of the
crossovers.
Zelda games, like Breath of the Wild, makes the most sense to have all those crazy crossovers and stuff, just because of the nature.
Besides Link's Awakening.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at more of the Generations crossover, and like the Korok seed is literally a cat dressed up in a Korok seed suit.
That's
So
amazing.
good. Oh, I cannot wait to play that game. Especially,
Yeah.
it's gonna be so good. But moving along here, out of the crossover zone, we're talking Splatoon 2 Octoling Amiibo release dates have been announced. In Europe and Japan, they will be released on November 9th, and those in North America will have to wait until December 7th, alongside the Smash Series Amiibo release and Super Smash Bros. In general. So, a little strange they're going to make you wait. I guess... Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe... I have no idea. I would say
know.
maybe easier
Yeah,
to
that's
if
weird.
they're shipping all them out or something, but like... Maybe they're just thinking they'll sell better alongside people are excited about Smash.
You know what I bet it is? People have stopped like stocking Amiibo, like on the norm. You know what I mean? They don't have the units anymore. So I bet what it is they don't want to just send out one thing. They'll have them all go at once so that the store can stock them in an area.
Yeah, they'll have a big display
all-
for Smash
Yeah,
as it is, and then they
for new stuff.
get all those people who are happy to be picking up Smash and just don't care. Like, I'll throw on a couple of Amiibo, whatever. Smash time, baby.
You mean like us?
Yep.
Or like me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, this next bit of news, not so much a Nintendo exclusive bit of news, but just some Fortnite news that, like I said, a light week, so I figured we could throw that in there. Fortnite has reportedly made over $1 billion in the form of in-game purchases, which is just ridiculous.
That's unbelievable.
But you know what?
A game that everyone could play for free.
You know what, though? It makes sense because it's not a game that's forcing you to spend any money, and people are playing this game for hours on end. Hours and hours, hundreds of hours on end, you know what I mean? So when you're playing a game that you're loving that much for free, you don't mind spending $10 on a battle pass, you know? You don't mind it, and like you said, it's almost sort of rewarding the developers, like, hey, thanks for this free game that's super fun to play and has literally no barrier of entry, you know? So
Absolutely.
it's like I said, I guess, I mean, it depends on how good the game is, you know? Obviously, some of the games are more like, hey, we're going to try and nickel and dime you, where this game is just fun and says, hey, here it is, and throw us some money if you want. And the cosmetics are pretty cool. They do have a lot of silly and fun cosmetics that, you know what I mean? If I was playing Fortnite more often, like, I would have no problem dropping $10 for the battle pass.
Yep.
But
I might be doing that.
But yeah, you're going to be doing it before you know it. And you should know that it does retroactively give you stuff. So, like, if you know how you still level up, like, your battle pass. I don't know if they actually call it a battle pass level up, but you still level up and unlock stuff. If you purchase the battle pass and you're level 4, I'm pretty sure it gives you all of the Battle Pass rewards from levels 1 to 4.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's nice incentive, so you don't feel like, oh, I've wasted so much time already playing, like, and oh, I should have just bought the Battle Pass day one. Now I'll just wait. You know, it's nice that they retroactively give you the rewards as well.
Very cool.
Now, this last bit of news here is probably, I guess, you know, depending on your interest in Zelda crossovers, the most exciting news. And why don't you give us the deets?
On Zelda crossovers?
Well, no, I said this next bit of news is probably the most exciting. Unless if you love yourself some crossover news.
That's true. And I do love myself some crossover news. But yes, the Summer of Devolver was announced, which 6 weeks of releases from Devolver Digital. First release was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the free DLC that we discussed last week for Enter the Gungeon.
Yes, sir.
Did you download that?
I have not. Again, just time.
Yeah,
they're just.
I need to though. I do want to put some more time.
We just need to add like one extra day that literally no one can do anything but relax.
Yep, I agree. Now, or just take away one work day.
Yeah, well, that would be nice
get paid
too.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next up, then they have Crossing Souls, which is a 2D action adventure game, and
that's coming next week.
Not a Hero,
which
super snazzy edition.
Yep. Now I'm pretty sure Crossing Souls will be this week, and then Not a Hero next week. And then to follow those, they haven't. I don't think they've said the order, although I know the last game to be released will be The Messenger. Is it Minette? Is that how you would say that?
Minute?
It is just Minute.
Yeah, it has to be.
Minute, then Broforce, and then The Messenger, which I am
Minute and The Messenger.
So excited for. That game is, baby.
Yeah.
From Sabotage Games, we saw at PAX East. Oh, man, that game is going to be a gem.
Dude, but have you seen Minute?
I have not.
Check out Minute. I mean, like, just definitely do
That
yourself
one's
a favor and check it out.
One to keep an eye out for.
Oh, yeah. It looks so cool.
Yes, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, other than that, not really. Like I said, sort of a slow week. It's been a slow month on the news front, really. I feel like Nintendo, at this point, there's got to be an August Direct, right? Is that what we're thinking? I mean, Nintendo has stated there are a plethora of games not announced that are still coming this year. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to be freaking AAA haymakers, you know what I mean? But like,
well, I don't think any of them.
But even games like Box Boy Trilogy would be like a perfect example, you know?
With the amiibo.
Ooh, QB.
On Switch.
But
I literally haven't, and I would play through those games again.
And it's like, I feel like they could give us more news about like more tidbits about Smash. Like, they're gonna have to, I think, at least one more character reveal before the release. I mean, unless if there are no more character reveals, but like, I think there'd be at least one more that, you know.
Did you hear the rumor of the Chorus Kids?
No, I haven't seen that.
You know who that is from Rhythm Heaven. You know.
Yeah.
The 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be amazing.
That would be so good. I would like the Blue Birds.
Having to get some love. Dude, I want Jimmy. I want, like, someone from WarioWare to be in there.
Imagine a character, and it was just, like, all of them. Like, and it just, like, you know, to each move, like, it would be Wario. Like, I don't know. I was going to say, like, a weird Wario, but whereas his Smash moves would actually just be, like, 9-Volt would come out and do something, and, like, all the different Smashes would be different characters coming out.
Yeah.
Like
or do it like, it'd be hard to do this, but do it kind of like Bowser Jr., how it's the Koopa Links.
Yeah.
You can take different skins and stuff, but I think Jimmy would be perfect, you know?
I was actually, I was listening to some Rhythm Heaven earlier today. Some Rhythm Heaven tunes. Oh, that Mega Mix, the final mix is so good.
That was hands down the most satisfying gaming moment of my life.
Chop in the Woods.
And I texted you right after.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was in the bathroom.
I was on the John.
I was, and my heart was just pounding. I'm doing it. I had worked on that thing for probably like 4 hours, and I'm not talking about the game.
Well, it's because you were clinched the whole time and nervous that you were going to mess up the Mega Mix. Jill's like, is he okay in there?
You talk about a Mega Mix.
You sick son of a gun.
Woo, anyway, that's going to do it for the news, and that's going to do it for the show.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We will, like I said, I'll take part in blame for not having more dedicated topics of the show. Just been a crazy couple weeks, and like I said, it's going to be a couple crazy more, but we will be returning. I want to do a nice compatible segment soon.
Yeah.
Soon for sure.
Yeah, have some mercy on us in the next month. We're still going to be releasing, but they might be shorter shows for the next month.
But you know what? Like, our shorter shows are still pushing 2 hours. Like, even this episode, where, like, we didn't have a dedicated topic, we still pushed 2 hours. So I think it's still good.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe while I'm at work this week, I will work on putting together a compatible segment. I also should note, and again, the Where's Waldo punishment. I've played the game. I've captured the footage. I just need to write down the review.
Did it work on your Retron?
What's up?
Did it work on your Retron?
No, it did not. It wouldn't read it. I don't know. It was so frustrating.
Dude, I think you have a faulty unit.
I don't know. It's weird because, like you said, it's weird that it picks up Shin Megami Tensei Famicom games, but it didn't get Waldo. But I actually was checking out some games just to see if it was working, and it worked on a bunch of my Super Nintendo games the other day. But
yeah, but your NES games. Have you tried your NES games?
I don't know. Like, I did.
Because remember, you were having troubles with Super Mario Bros. 3 and stuff,
that's
too.
true. Well,
I think it's your NES.
I sold all my NES games anyway. But yeah.
Not Where's Waldo?
Yeah, I sold that one too, actually.
Oh, you already did?
Yeah, I sold. Like, I put up a big lot of all my games and just sold them.
Oh, nice.
But I was able to capture some footage via emulation. I know. But yeah, I'm gonna probably write that and then try and get that done within the next week or so. I know I've been a turd. It's been too long. So I will get that done and let you all see how great Where's Waldo really is.
And then I'm gonna give another shout out to the listeners. If you could like tweet at us an idea for compatible. For what you want to hear. Compatible is where we talk about a peripheral released for Nintendo systems that like funny things
we've talked about the GameCube keyboard controller.
Yeah, and we even talked Amiibo. We've talked lots of different stuff. The
now we're blanking.
The GBA, the GBA connectivity cable.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of a couple interesting ones. I mean, honestly, even like Rob the Robot could be a good one, or like the NES Satellite, which is like a wireless controller option for the NES, which is just sort of crazy to think about. So,
or like I'm thinking like Wii Motion Plus would be a good one.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, no,
but anything like that.
And the more obscure, the better. I mean, I'm always down to talk, even...
Chainsaw controller, GameCube.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4.
I mean, I'm down to talk more popular. Even like a Wavebird, you know what I mean? Could be... I mean, I guess... I mean, it is a peripheral kind of thing going on, but...
We can do
I like the deep dive or the deep cuts as well, so... But yeah, anything you could think of, shoot it over at Talk Nintendo Pod. That's Talk Nintendo...
P-O-D.
Over on the old tweeter. And again, we got videos going up on NWR TV on YouTube. We're writing reviews on NintendoWorldReport.com, and of course, we're pumping out these podcasts once a week for you guys to listen and enjoy. Hopefully, if you're listening this long, I'm assuming you've enjoyed it somewhat.
I hate it.
I needed to listen to every crappy word these two chuckleheads had to say.
Chuckleheads. That's such a great word. Yes. So thank you everyone for listening, and thank you everyone for hearing.
Yes.
And Casey, thank you everyone for seeing.
Yes. Even if it's a little blurry.
Even if it's a little blurry, because you just got your cornea laser.
My cornea's all cut up.
Oh.
And I paid a doctor to do it. A jumpy Canadian boy. Sounds like David. Karaoke? Oh, coulda in.
Insert expletive.
Oh boy, here we go.